What is going on, everybody? It is Frankie here, and welcome to the 2023 NFL Week 5 predictions. Let me just demonstrate for you my commitment to doing these videos for you guys. It is 3:05 in the morning here on the East Coast. I am really tired, but I cannot get to sleep until I give you my picks for Week 5. And let's just get it off the bat. I will be doing every game except for Giants-Dolphins because the Giants play tonight, and I want to wait till after the Giants-Seahawks game to make a prediction, even though I don't think I will have any chance of a change of heart picking the Giants-Dolphins game. But let's get right to it. Week 5 in the NFL. And we start with crap. Bears Commanders. Thursday Night Football. Thankfully, there is a Major League Baseball postseason on Thursday night, so I'm going to be watching that instead of this game. Bears, I don't know how you lose that game to Denver. Commanders almost pulled out something against Washington, but and I will say this, Sam Howell seems like he's going to be a real good quarterback. It seems like Washington has a nice quarterback for the future. Howell, I really like what he was able to do today. Played well in a big spot. 2 big drives late. I like what I see from him, but I don't see much from either one of these teams. Give me the Commanders -6. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are 4.5-point favorites. The Jaguars pulling off the victory in Andy's room, also known as London. 23 points. It's what Jacksonville needed. They needed an offensive showing like this, and they did. Now, they're going to need the running game to really get going here, as Trevor Lawrence led the Jaguars in rushing until late in the fourth quarter. But what really carried this game for the Jaguars was the secondary, was all the turnovers. They had a nice pick 6 in this game. A couple big plays late. Again, they have 3 pick 6s since the beginning of last season. Only the Patriots have more. So it was a nice defensive performance from Jacksonville, but they're going to need the offense to get going. One team that does not need their offense to get going is the Buffalo Bills. I was wondering, I took Miami to win the game today. It was a foolish decision because I really should have realized, that makes no sense, that Buffalo is just a great team. I was worried about what happened after week 1. I was caught up in the Miami hysteric, and Miami is still a great team, but Buffalo just showed how dominant they can be, dropping 48 on a great Dolphins team. Yes, they did lose Trey with an Achilles injury. He's going to be out for the end after coming back from a torn ACL last Thanksgiving. It's just devastating to see that he's going to be gone again for the year. But the Bills look like a terrific team. Allen and Diggs, that combination is just lethal. Allen today, 21 for 25, 320 yards, 4 touchdowns, including a rushing touchdown as well. They were dominant in all aspects of the game here. And after thinking, maybe Miami's going to be, because I think Kansas City's going to be that team that comes out of the AFC. I was thinking it yesterday, and maybe this is total overreaction. I was thinking, all right, maybe it's going to be Miami. And then watching this game, I was like, nope, it's back to Buffalo. Kansas City, Buffalo, calling it. I know it's not an original pick, but Kansas City, Buffalo, AFC Championship game looks like the most probable pick, the most likely situation, likely scenario that's going to happen. I think that will be the case, but we still have a lot of football left to be played. This game, yes, Jacksonville does have a dominant defense, but Buffalo's offense is even more powerful. And I think in this game, they will dominate, they will destroy. Again, the Jaguars just need to show something going on offense for me to believe in them here, but I think the Bills, it's going to be a tough matchup, but the Bills will dominate. Give me the Bills -4.5. The Houston Texans and the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are 2.5-point favorites. I will give Houston credit. I did not expect this team to be 2-2. I don't think Texans fans expected this team to be 2-2. But you know what? C.J. Stroud has been putting on some good performances here, and they got the win against a really depleted Pittsburgh Steelers team. By depleted, I just mean just not knowing where they're going right now. Just that offense is just in a rough spot. But Texans took advantage of it, got the win there. Atlanta, pretty horrendous performance there in London. Desmond Ridder might be the worst quarterback in the league, and that's really saying something. I don't want to be too hard on the kid, but God, back-to-back interceptions on back-to-back plays, including a pick 6. First quarterback to do that since Tua last year. 19 for 31, 191 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 fumble loss, 2 picks. At least you got Bijan Robinson. At this point, he should play quarterback. Can't be any worse. The offense is just dead for this team. But so this is 2 teams that I don't really see going. I know the Texans are 2-2, and I know that I believe the Falcons are 2-2 as well. But and if I get that wrong, yell at me in the comments. I don't have the standings in front of me, but I do think right now, if I have to give this edge to somebody, I still believe. I think Houston is gonna. This has been a nice last few weeks for them, but I think they will start to crumble. They'll be back to their normal selves here this week. Atlanta's at home, and even though I'm not really excited about this game, this is a game I hope that the red zone never turns on. But I do think the Falcons win this one by I'll say by a touchdown in this one. They just have a little bit more on the offense to be able to, that even Ridder won't be able to blow it up he won't be able to screw it up for this game. Give me the Falcons -2.5. The Carolina Panthers and the Detroit Lions. Panthers, the Lions are 8.5-point favorites. Panthers lose to Minnesota. That's not a surprise. They're 0-4. It's just a bad situation there. Lions, that was a great victory on Thursday night. I took Green Bay. I was buying into the Jordan Love, the hysteria around him. And I'm not doubting Love here. I'm not saying he's going to be bad going forward, but the Lions proved to us why they are such a good team. They have such a dominant offensive line. You had David Montgomery with a sensational performance, 121 rushing yards on 32 carries, and a nice performance from Gibbs as well. You just put anyone behind that Lions offensive line, and they are going to go off in this game. Also, a great game from Jerry Jacobs, who had 2 interceptions for Detroit in that game. So defense played well, and I think this is a nice spot for them. Coming home, they have extra rest. 8.5-point favorites against Carolina. I do think this will be a pretty... I don't want to crap on Carolina too much. I don't want to crap on any of these really bad teams. You're just pouring salt into the wound at this point. But yeah, the Lions should win this one pretty convincingly. They're a much better team, much more overall balanced team. And Carolina, I just think will have no answers for Detroit and that offensive line. Give me the Lions -8.5. The Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are a point favorite. Derrick Henry, welcome back. This is the kind of performance Tennessee needed to bounce back after what has been a real rough start here for the season for Tennessee in terms of their offense. And they got it going. 27 points, most points they've scored in regulation since Week 11 last year against Green Bay. Solid performance, again, from Henry. The offensive line. Defense also really stepped up. I know Burrow has his calf injury, but to hold them to 165 passing yards and 3 points, something to be proud of there. Indianapolis hung in there against the Rams. It's such a weird division in the AFC South between the Titans, between the Colts. It's they have the Jaguars and then Texans. It's a weird division right now. I really cannot explain it at all. But it's made for some exciting football here. And yeah, the Colts couldn't get the win here. They're at home. I thought about taking Indianapolis, but I just think Tennessee is a little bit better placed right now. I think they figured out what their problem is. We're going to see another good game from Henry, and we're going to see the defense for Tennessee shut down Anthony Richardson and the company. Give me the Titans here, +1 on the road against Indianapolis. The New Orleans Saints and the New England Patriots. The Patriots are a 1.5 favorite. Boy, these were rough days for both of these offenses here on Sunday in Week 4. The Saints offense looks completely lost at sea. Pete Carmichael looks like he's going to be the offensive coordinator. It looks like he's going to be needing to find a new job here pretty soon because they look completely inept in every sense of the word. The play calling is atrocious. The execution is bad. It's just, Derek Carr really couldn't do anything here in this spot. The Saints were booed multiple times in this game. Just a bad shot as Tampa Bay with another win. Who would have thought? The worst loss of Bill Belichick's career today, 38-3. And that, for a coach as great as Bill Belichick, this is the biggest deficit, the biggest blowout loss of his career. It's really saying something. And Mac Jones, I think we see enough. I know we're year 2, year 3 already. I think I've seen enough. All right, I was in a game like this, big time situation like this. Even though you're on the road, you got to be able to perform better than this. And he just looked awful. Getting benched in the third quarter, the picks were bad, the fumble. I just feel like I've seen enough. I mean, I don't know what Zappy can do, but I would like to see him a little bit more as opposed to Mac Jones. So I feel like we've seen enough. Give the edge to the Saints in this one. It's ugly. Again, this should be take the under. Like Dolphins, Bills, take the over. This game, take the under because the offenses are not going to be able to get anything going for either one of these teams. But Saints 1.5 under. I just think there's uncertainty right now with the New England quarterback position. Just think the Saints will pull this one off here. And they do have Alvin Kamara, so I'm expecting a nice performance from him. Give me the Saints +1.5. The Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens are 3.5-point favorites. The Ravens look like they are in total control of the AFC North, especially after the beatdown over the Browns today, albeit without Deshaun Watson. Lamar Jackson, 3 touchdowns today. He in the red zone, he scored. He's had 2 rushing touchdowns in each of the first 2 games, each of his past 2 games. So he's been great. He's been living up to his money here in his first few games. Really a shutout against Cleveland. The offensive line, a little bit of an issue there, committing 4 penalties in the first half and some injuries to worry about for Baltimore. But overall, again, when you have the Steelers look like they can't score at all, which we'll get to the Steelers, and then you have The Bengals struggling, and the Browns, who knows what's going to happen with them. The Ravens look like they're going to be in total control. Steelers, wow. Again, this team was a total fraud in the preseason. We were thinking, wow, this offense, this is going to be the 07 Patriots. And God, 6 points today. I know Kenny Pickett got hurt, but he sucked when he was out there. There's nothing. Matt Canada should be deported up to Canada. I don't think he lives in Canada. I think it's just a name thing, but it's a stupid joke. Whatever. Bear with me. Bottom line is he should not be the offensive coordinator of this team. They look so lost out there. There's no offensive momentum right now. They were shut up in the first half for the first time since 2021. Just a completely lifeless, lost, the same thing, offense that the Steelers have here. Scoring 6 points against and letting the Texans beat you around like that is a struggle. I'm surprised the Steelers are only 3.5 point underdogs. I would take the Ravens big time in this game to blow them out. If the Steelers offense keeps playing like this and we don't know about Kenny Pickett, I expect the Ravens to win this one comfortably. Maybe the line will expand over the week. But as of right now, if you get 3.5 for the Ravens, take it. Give me the Ravens minus 3.5 over Pittsburgh. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. The Eagles are 5-point favorites. It was a little bit of a nervous, too dramatic of a win for the Eagles, but that counts as a win. 4-0 on this team, and they've got a couple winnable games coming up. I expect this one here against the Rams to be a winnable game, even though the Rams have played a lot better than I thought they would be this year. But yeah, the Eagles in this game. Hurts continues to be an amazing top 5 quarterback, maybe top 3 quarterback in this league. Another great week from A.J. Brown. A couple weeks ago, he and Hurts were having an argument. Today, no problem. They just look like they were right back in. They look like 2022. Hurts and Brown, sensational game from both of them. And yeah, giving up 31 to Washington. Although Sam Howell had a nice game. Giving up 31 to Washington, not ideal. Having to win in overtime, not ideal. But this team has shown they can when things get tough, they're gonna bounce back and they're gonna win. And great performance out of the Eagles today, at least in that front. Tough win, but a deserving win, rewarding win. Rams, man, Cup and Naku. I have not learned his name. Naku, Cup and Puka. Cup and Puka. I'll just call him that. Yes, I'm an idiot. Don't correct me in the comments. Cup and Puka are going to be if they can figure out how to work those two guys together, that is going to be a really fun offense to watch. Matt Stafford is going to be so lucky that he's got two guys right. And maybe Puka is just benefiting off the fact that no Cup, but he's setting NFL records for how well he's been here in his first few games, scoring the game-winning touchdown today. Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to last, but if he can keep playing like this with Cup around, the Rams are going to be a dangerous team, potentially dangerous team with two dominant weapons like that. And then Kyren Williams had the first 100-yard rushing game of his career, so he looked good there today as they beat the Colts in overtime. But as good as the Rams have looked here, and as good, I think, as better as they will be with Cup, the Eagles are the Eagles. They're the best team in the NFC, I think. Sorry, Niners fans. I just think right now the Eagles are going to be. It's not going to be a blowout, but I think the Eagles will get it done. Hurts, Brown, the entire crew, the soon-to-be brother-in-law of Taylor Swift. I'm going with the win. Is it brother-in-law of Taylor Swift? Yes. Yes, I got that correct. Sorry, it's really late. Eagles should win this one. Brown, Hurts, everybody there should take advantage of this one. Give me the Eagles, -5. The Cincinnati Bengals and the Arizona Cardinals. The Bengals are 4.5-point favorites. What the hell is wrong with Cincinnati? Oh my gosh. Is it just the calf injury? Is it just because there's other problems here? This defense is not as good as they once were. And yes, Burrow with that calf injury. Maybe if you're Cincinnati, your season already looks over anyway. Just rest him. He's 1-3. If he still looks this bad, just having a fumble today, just rest him until he's 100% healthy, because look, this season doesn't look like it's going anywhere anyway. Letting Tennessee just run all over you. It is Derrick Henry, but that's rough. Yeah, the defense just allowing 27 unanswered points. They have a lot of issues here, but they should be solved at least for 1 week, because you're going up against Arizona, and Arizona has a lot of problems they've got to deal with. Cincinnati should win this one. And if you lose this one, good God, you are in so much trouble. You are dead. But I do think the Bengals will win the one. What happens going forward with the Bengals, I have no idea. What's going to happen with, we were expecting great things out of this team. It's an obvious. So to see them be this disappointing, and again, it's not just Burrow with the calf. There's a whole litany of problems with the team, especially on the defensive side. But I expect in this game here, for at least 1 week, those problems will be put on ice. Give me the Bengals -4.5. The New York Jets and the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are 2.5-point favorites. This is going to be an ugly game. I'll take the Broncos, sure. Zach Wilson, all credit to him. Best game, maybe of his career. They lit a fire under him this week by thinking, Trevor Siemian might take your job. And especially coming out of the second half, he looked really good. Except for the horrible fumble that he had. Pretty good game for him. And they didn't embarrass themselves in front of Taylor Swift. So you can at least be happy about that. Broncos, they got a win, but it was an ugly win. And I'll go with the Broncos, but I don't care about this game. The Kansas City Swifts and the Minnesota Vikings. The Swifts are 5.5-point favorites. Did you guys know that Taylor Swift was at the game? I don't know if NBC brought it up once, twice, 3 times, or 18 times. That's how many times I counted. 18 different appearances of Taylor Swift in the box celebrating. God, I look, diehard Swiftie as I am already sick of this. I don't need 100 shots of Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift, but I don't need 100 shots of her in the box. I get it. We get it. They're banging. I don't need to know about it, NFL. That's all really. What else do I say? I mean, I expected a bigger beatdown in front of Mr. Maracana, but and also in front of Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. But how big of a star do you have to be? Sorry, on the Taylor Swift tangent. How big of a star do you have to be that Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and Blake Lively are all in the same box and no one cares? No one's talking about them because that's how big of a star you are. I expected better of this Chiefs game today. I was expecting more from the offense. Mahomes had a couple bad interceptions for him, including that last one. And yes, I know that shouldn't have been called holding, but wasn't a great game for Mahomes, but he got it done. The defense has not looked very impressive here as of late. I mean, giving up 20 to Zach Wilson, not something to be proud of. Minnesota, win for them, but their defense is, they did have a couple nice plays today against Carolina, but I mean, I still don't think they've all of a sudden fixed their team. They're one of the 5 or 6 worst defenses in the league. So I think against Kansas City, they will get one out. I expect. And Kirk Cousins also had a bad game today. 2 picks, including his third pick six, or not third pick six of the year, but a really bad pick six. Third goal line pick of the year. They won the game against Carolina, which they should have. So I'm not going to scream too hard about it, but it is what it is on that front. Kansas City though will win. In fact, I mentioned Swift. I'll just say the Swifts -5.5. Okay, the Swifts. That from now on they are just the Swifts. Swifts won this one by 5.5. Again, Minnesota played fine today, getting back on track, but Swifts should dominate. Give me the Swifts -5.5. The Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are 3.5-point favorites. Beat down in Dallas here today. That was exactly what you needed after the loss against Arizona. 38 points and a terrific, great performance out of Dak. Also, I love the hug that he and Zeke had after the game. You could tell that really meant something to them. And maybe something, why is Zeke not back on Dallas? But I know there's a reason why. Biggest blowout loss of Bill Belichick's career. So credit to Dallas on pulling off that. This is what they needed. Again, just a dominant performance. The defense was really on top level performance from the defense. Say 2 defensive scores, 3 takeaways. And it's what the kind of performance they need. Again, their offense looked really good, except for their red zone offense, which has been an issue all season long. And they struggled with it here again today. I still expect good things from them going forward. But they're going up against San Francisco. And what a juggernaut this team is. We know this. Brock Purdy, what more does this man need to do? Another day where his deep ball really was terrific. He really had a couple good passes today. And Christian McCaffrey, I don't know if he's going to win MVP, but I did see a lot of discussion today about that. I think he's like 25-1 in Vegas. I'm not ready to go that far yet, but Offensive Player of the Year, he should definitely be the favorite of. 177 scoring yards, 4 touchdowns today. He's an absolute machine. And if the Niners, go 16-1 or something like that, he might get it. He might get it just because as good as Purdy is, I don't think he's going to be that guy that is considered, unless he's just able to pull something on. I don't think he's considered the number 1 guy, that top MVP guy. So it might be McCaffrey if he keeps playing like this, but we still have a long way to go. Two powerhouses here. but the Niners are just a bigger powerhouse. They have more of a dominant team. And I think the Cowboys' red zone offense will come back to bite them here in this instance. 3.5 for the Niners. It's going to be a fun Sunday night game. But in the end, 49ers get the win. Give me San Fran -3.5. The Green Bay Packers and the Las Vegas Raiders. The Packers are 1-point favorites. Really difficult loss against Detroit. That was really surprising. I took Green Bay. I was expecting better things out of them. And the Packers offensive line couldn't protect Jordan Love. He was pressured, 13 times. Defense gave up 211 yards rushing. Just rough performance on Thursday. I was, again, against Detroit, I would expect a little bit better, but Detroit's just a really good team this year. Clearly the best team in the NFC North, I think. Raiders, they hung in there against the Chargers. That game gave me every indication the Chargers were going to lose that. That was the kind of game the Chargers usually always lose. But somehow the Raiders could not be able to overcome that. They lose this one here. And I expect them to lose this one on Monday night. Green Bay, Jordan Love, I think they're going to bounce back here in a nice way. And the Raiders just have too many issues for me. Give me the Packers -1. That's it for now, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to this channel and you'd like to see, make sure you subscribe down below. I'll be back tomorrow with a preview of Giants and Dolphins. Take care and God bless.